providing his answer. "I ain't gonna lie, Raleigh hit hard. People have been sleeping on Raleigh," said Davis when speaking to Fight Hype. "He ain't got no chin on him, so Raleigh keeps getting caught, but Raleigh can hit bro like he can hit. He's the only person that I felt like when he swung, it felt like bricks were in his gloves." Drew with Lamont Roach last weekend has shared the ring with both fighters, and he has had his say on who hits hardest. In 2022, Davis preserved his unbeaten record when he clashed with Romero in New York and was victorious with originally suspended earlier this year after returning a positive test for PEDs following her win over Danielle Perkins in February. However, this was lifted by the Michigan Unarmed Combat Commission in a matter of weeks. At the time, the Victorville native went on a tirade against Shields online, hurling a bunch of vile insults toward her, labeling her as anti-humans. She fired back, pointing to his true colors, dismissing the idea of forgiving him, that too without an apology. Like later this year, Garcia and Romero will clash on a huge show in New York's Times Square, and a win for Garcia will pave the way for a rematch with Devin Haney, who also appears on the same show. Garcia begins the bout with Romero, a significant favorite, but when asked who the biggest puncher was between the two, Davis did not hesitate when he's been a pro for 9 years. Someone should have fixed that habit. Even though Raleigh's form is terrible, he's got the power to defeat the top guys on the May 2nd card: Ryan, Devin Haney, and Teofimo Lopez.
That was like that was Danny Garcia. That's why Danny Garcia, that guy, Danny what? He Puerto Rican, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it like a hook he was swinging or?
Everything.
Oh, is it?
I ain't gonna lie. He didn't touch me. He didn't touch me with nothing clean. But when he did touch me, he was like, hit me all across the room. Like, boom, boom. Like, damn.
Hey, Tay, I saw what you said. You thought Mayweather set you up against Rolando.
A 6th round stoppage. The following year, and 2 fights later, Davis was successful against Garcia in one of the year's biggest boxing events as he stopped the Californian with a vicious body shot.
More of a puncher's chance than I think Ryan is the more complete fighter with skills, but Rolly definitely has a puncher's chance. I mean, he's a very big puncher, and Ryan's a big puncher as well. So it's another one of those fights that is close to.
Romero rehashed a sparring session from 8 years prior that Romero have posted on YouTube, with a plug for his Instagram handle in the title just for good measure, in which he got the better of Garcia. It's like a TV show that doesn't want to turn off. Romero has successfully used to defect many boxing professionals to his side ahead of his match against Ryan Garcia. It's his most recent training footage. Ryan Garcia remains the overall favorite, but Raleigh's training...
And neither fighters are chumps. You know what I'm saying? Ryan's a beast, Rolly's a beast. And, you know, these guys are going to they're going to put it all out there. So, you know, stylistically, I just feel like it favors Ryan by a lot, just because he got the range, he got the speed, you know what I'm saying? He has the power.
You know, he looked good, man. It was good to see him like healthy and fast, and you could tell like this weight is a good weight for him. Does it last all 12 or?
I think it's one of those fights that goes like.
That wasn't enough. The major weakness to Rolly Romero's boxing, which has been the major reason for his decline, has been massively worked on. As he trained, his chins were no longer kept up, and he's been trained to keep his guard all the time. A great chin is good, but a great defense is even better. The hook and the right hands and stuff had a little bit more stuff on him because he was positive for PEDs, she declared. Shields' contempt for Garcia extends beyond boxing. She is fed up with how he dodges accountability for his nasty comments. Footage has proven that he's not just a walk in the park. Most of those who have written him off are now giving what they call the puncher's chance, seeing how ferocious his punches are. Lightweight champion proceeded to sue Garcia, alleging battery, fraud, and breach of contract. The pair has since come to an agreement, which will see Garcia and Haney have a rematch later this year. Recently, Shield for his chin. His style has been modified to the hit and don't get hit style, only that rather than do so much footwork, he works in his guard instead. This has earned him the support of many boxing professionals ahead of fight night. I think he's going to come and fight hard because he has a great opportunity. He's confident against me. I think we're going to see a good fight, but ultimately, I am going to knock him out. It will be Garcia's first fight since getting banned from the sport for a year. Despite that, he has given himself a 90% chance of night. Ahead of the fight, boxing trainer and former world champion Jeff Mayweather picked Romero as the favorite, despite Ryan Garcia being the more complete and technical fighter. Winning the fight via KO. Probability-wise, yeah, like 90% it's going to be a knockout. Garcia recently admitted he struggled with alcohol addiction before and after his fight with Haney last April, and is cutting a very different demeanor a year on. Raleigh knows this is a must-win fight for him. His career has sunk to the point where he's now being used as a tune-up opponent for Kingry to look impressive. He was chosen for this assignment based on his name recognition. Raleigh's last 4 fights against Manuel James, Isaac Cruz, Ismael Barroso, his fight with Devin Haney, ripping Haney for suing him, and for the result being changed from a Garcia majority decision win to a no contest. He also claimed he couldn't make the 140-pound limit, which beggars belief given his drinking during fight week and the chasm by which he missed weight. Confident in his abilities, Garcia has made it clear he plans to end the fight in a dominant fashion. I think my experience and overall abilities are much better than Romero, Garcia told The Ring. Raleigh's punches are deadly, and Ryan Garcia has shown that he can get dropped and that his defense is quite vulnerable, as he showed in his only loss. Renowned boxing trainer Robert Garcia has also picked Romero, holding on to the belief that he has worked on all his weaknesses and would put
Can't Rolly pull off the upset. I don't want to say that's crazy, but yeah, hopefully, bro. Hopefully for the take of Rolly, he pull it off. But it's gonna be a good fight. No, you think? Huh?
Someone's gonna get knocked out.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody get knocked out.
Who hit a little harder though? Was it Ryan or was it Rolly? Because they both clearly.
I ain't gonna lie, Rolly hit hard.
Yeah.
People be sleeping on Rolly because he been.
Romero was able to grapple him into unfavorable positions, but since he feels he has grown to become the bigger fighter and has drawn confidence from the idea that Romero will no longer be able to push him around the ring. For his 12-round main event, welterweight clash against Ryan Garcia on May 2nd, live on DAZN PPV on May 2nd at Times Square in New York City. In a video clip this week, Romero was working on his left hook and rapid-fire combinations. That stuff is in him. He was saying the N-word. He said things to me about my family. You know, all types of stuff, so I don't respect that, and it still hasn't been an apology from him, she stated. Shields herself was provisional.
Yeah, so...
Are you talking about in sparring?
Yeah.
How many years ago was that?
8.
And you think that's relevant to this fight? You think you learned something back then you can take forward to this fight?
No, I wasn't really trying to learn that day.
Obviously, I don't know how to say it, obviously. But yeah, if he don't got no chin down, so Rolly be getting caught, but Rolly, he can hit, bro. Like, he can hit. But he's the only person I felt like when he swung, it felt like bricks was in hood. Is that the hardest really? Like, is that the hardest one you faced in your career? Is that the hardest one? Who else I sparred that was like?
Else, he'll get caught. He didn't change his pick, sticking with Romero for good and biased reasons. Gabe Rosado, despite claiming Ryan Garcia is the more complete and technical fighter, agreed that they both have a fair chance heading into this fight on several occasions. At one point, Shields even wanted to fight Garcia, but that, of course, never happened. Regardless, as Claressa Shields hopes Rolly Romero can produce a miracle knockout, Ryan Garcia doesn't even seem to think of Romero as a threat. When he sparred Garcia years ago, he got the better of him by forcing him back against the ropes. Ryan couldn't generate any power on his left hooks with his back against the ropes, while Romero worked him over with combination punches. Gervonta Davis, who
dragged by all the Mexican fans, they're all Team Ryan, and they don't stop. They just continue attacking him. And it's like, no, to me, nobody really like showed concern for Devin. So I inboxed him a little bit, and I was checking on him to make sure he was okay. And he writing back like, hey, I'm good, blah, blah, blah. You know, but I just felt like, dang, this is just so bad, because I'm considered one of the queens of boxing. So I look at me having a
pull off a surprising show against Ryan Garcia on fight night. I love Ryan. He's great, he's good, but Rollies is also a good showman. You know, he knows how to build up a fight too, so can't wait for that one. Robert Garcia, Rolando Rolly Romero, is looking powerful training in the gym. 24 wins have come by knockout, while Romero has 13 stoppages among his 16 victories. Garcia's left hook is one of the most vaunted weapons in boxing, while Romero owns the distinction of hurting Gervonta Tank Davis, who described his punch as feeling like bricks were in his gloves.
I hurt him since he got hit with it the first round. So it's like, yeah, he should have got out the way of the hook. He should have got out the way of every punch. But the hook and the right hands and stuff had a little bit more stuff on him because he was positive for, was it Austrian or something like that? So yeah, I just don't like that concept. And I feel like too, you know, I want Rolly to win because Ryan, disrespectful, man. He's a disrespectful kid, you know, and I think everybody giving him a pass now. He's doing better and he went to rehab or whatever the case may be.
The former Undisputed Boxing Association light welterweight champion Romero, 29, but what might be missing is his punch resistance. He's been chinny since his 6th round knockout loss to Gervonta Davis on May 28th, 2022. Romero was knocked out in the 8th round by Isaac Pitbull Cruz on March 30th. Transgressions before the Haney fight, Garcia remains a box office attraction in the sport. Only when he's speaking respectfully, not intent on harming others or himself, is it possible to recall why. And that's all for now. For the very best updates...
That stuff is in him, man. That's his character.
He doesn't get a pass from you.
No, he doesn't get a pass from me. Like, that stuff is in him. He was saying the N-word. He said things to me about my family, you know.
He claimed it would be a very close fight, as both fighters have a huge puncher's chance. However, he picked Rolly Romero, thinking he's got the better puncher's chance, and for the sake of the training session and their relationship. Regardless, he claimed Rolly must find a solution to Ryan's speed and left hook. If Romero can win this fight, he'll likely get a rematch with Garcia, and the money from that fight would be better than what he got in his brief stint as the World Boxing Association 140-pound belt holder after his controversial 9th round knockout win over Ismael Barroso. And Gervonta Davis have seen him get 2 wins and 2 knockout defeats. However, the win against Ismael Barroso remains very controversial and unconvincing, making only the win against a poor Manuel Jamies the real one. The power is definitely there for the former world...
And you know, all type of stuff, so I don't respect that, and it still hasn't been a apology from him yet. You know, he tries to laugh, oh, Clarissa, I was playing, it was like, look, I don't care how drunk or how you was, that's not acceptable, because if I get drunk and high...
2 years ago, the way Romero telegraphs his punches by screeching like a cat is bad form. He lets his opponents know when he intends to throw, and they counter him. Surprisingly, none of Rolly's trainers have told him to stop doing this because he is defeat at the hands of Davis. Yeah, he said bluntly, when Mannix asked him if he felt Garcia quit in the 7th round after taking a knee from a body shot. And how does he think the fight will end? Ryan flatlined on the canvas or taking a knee. Garcia continued to shirk responsibility for his actions.
And I go live and I go on spaces and I talk about Mexicans, blacks, whites. People are going to hold me accountable for that. So he doesn't get a pass because he was high and drunk.
In a recent interview with Fight Hub TV, Claressa Shields shared her insight on the upcoming Garcia-Romero fight. While she acknowledges that Kingery has a strong chance of winning, she hopes Rolly knocks him out. "I'm hoping that Rolly catches Ryan and puts his damn lights out," she stated, showing her punches of her own. At Ryan Garcia. "I can't wait to see Ryan versus Rolly," she told the reporter. "It's going to be a funny fight. Two strong, unorthodox dudes, man." Garcia spewed disturbing bigotry on social media, alienating himself from viewers and fellow boxers. But during the face-off, Garcia was lucid and calm for the most part, not allowing his trash talk to cross into unfettered hate speech. Garcia also cast doubt on Romero's chin, saying he was looking for Easter eggs in the ring during his stoppage loss to Isaac Pitbull Cruz, and that he no longer takes a punch as well as he once did. Romero, meanwhile, took aim at Garcia's disdain over the Victorville native. Shields recalled the Haney-Garcia bout last year, claiming, "Ryan is a cheat and he knows he cheated." She added, "And the world keeps saying, oh, Devin didn't get out of a hook. He got hit with a PED's hook. I don't know why you guys keep putting that word off like it wasn't just the hook, PED's hook. I want Rolly to win because Ryan is a disrespectful man. He's a disrespectful kid, you know, and I think everybody is giving him a pass. Oh, he's doing better, and he went to rehab or whatever the case may be. He doesn't get a pass from me," she declared. He and Romero. Last year, the scandal outright divided the boxing world in half. Shields gets the fans who say Haney should have slipped those hooks to survive. However, the GW08 is convinced the extra zip from PED made those shots harder to shake off. Things seemed fine till this point, but Shields had to add something more to ruin Garcia's day. But I'm hoping that Rolly just catches Ryan and puts his goddamn lights out. I'm not going to lie to you. It's worth mentioning that Garcia and Shields have clashed on social media. Shields was asked to predict the outcomes of Garcia versus Romero and the eventual Garcia versus Haney showdown during an interview with Sean Zittel. But instead of just calling winners, she decided to throw some. Garcia said of the sparring session, which continues to constantly pop up online. "Damn, man, is this like Friends? It won't stop? I ain't even gonna lie, I'm tired of watching that shit," Romero agreed. Garcia acknowledged that during the sparring session.
All right, now let's turn our attention to Rolly Romero, everybody. You saw what Ryan Garcia did a year ago. How concerned are you with that left hook that he's so proud of?
Garcia Rolando Romero is a fight between two fresh-faced heels, but in a face-off with DAZN's Chris Mannix, both boxers behaved themselves. Garcia Romero, a welterweight bout scheduled for May 2nd, will pit power against power. 20 of Garcia's. There is also a gross undercurrent to the fight, however, given that Ryan Garcia is returning from a one-year ban following his positive tests for the banned substance Ostarine. Clearly in the throes of a mental health crisis around the same time, Garcia also seemed to believe that because he paid Haney for missing weight, the fact that he missed weight is irrelevant. Never mind contracts signed, the professionalism he lacked, and the danger extra weight poses in the ring, though he'll likely never be able to atone for his.
You said earlier today when you were talking to the Ring magazine that Ryan Garcia is not chasing championships. He basically just wants to be a model. What did you mean by that?
Well, he didn't make weight for his last 4 title fights, so, and he didn't even try to make weight with Tank, so, and he's not chasing the belt. But we'll see. May 2nd.
What's the game plan to beat Ryan Garcia?
I already got a game plan.
On news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.